I'll just give you an example of two things that appeared in 1 week. This was in terms of bullying, which of course is what acceptance, that's what all of it is, isn't it? Whether it's someone's mental illness or whether it's a physical disease as opposed to a mental disease. It's about accepting people, which is of course what the lesbian and gay community is all about as well. But I was listening to a radio station recently, and there was a woman who was hosting that radio show who has been trying to get pregnant, she's a heterosexual woman, trying to get pregnant for years. And what did her co-host do? He said, look, I reckon that, you know, now is the time you should test to see if you're pregnant. She'd done it for years, anyway, they were all aware of her cycle and whatever, and they said, go to the bathroom, during the outbreak you do this and do the test. And she came back and they distracted her and they swapped, this is on air, they swapped the result. I won't say who it was. No, I won't say who it was because I don't want to be involved in that. I'm simply giving you the example.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be bullying someone else when I'm talking about bullying.
Yeah.
I think that would be sadly ironic. There was a woman, and I think we've got. So the humiliation of that woman across this city, to be heard, the jubilation of her thinking she was pregnant, and to find out that she was the butt of a joke and that this was a form of entertainment. There was a woman who wrote an article recently in Sydney, and I realised that all media commentators are vying for a point of difference, and it's escalating and things are getting more and more outrageous, not deeper, not more understanding, but more intolerant. This woman was suggesting that Valentine's Day should be celebrated with unprotected sex with a stranger. No, I mean,
Floored.
I mean, this is not some hokey publication. This was a major Sydney publication doing this. The reason I mention this is that within the gay and lesbian community, there's very much an awareness of intolerance and bullying, but this is a huge thing, which of course leads to mental health acceptance and whatever, that many people are suffering from. And women, there's a third case of bullying of women that occurred in that same week. There was a competition in New Zealand, and the man who won it, he had to give a reason as to why he wanted to tell his wife on air on Valentine's Day that he was going to divorce her. And the man who won it had his divorce paid for. Now, as long as we're living in a culture, we're humiliating other people and competing with each other to bully people, then how can we accept any form or expect any form of tolerance for any form of difference? We're in such a society that we pride ourselves. I mean, I heard a social commentator state that the tall poppy syndrome was part of our culture. That is a deplorable state of mind, that we have to pick on anybody that's different. For us to claim that as something that is a national trait is appalling. So I think what we really need to be doing, we're in this luxurious position, as I said, of with no real things to be worrying about or that we are focusing on. Of course, there are many things. So we're picking on each other, and mental illness is only one side of it. We're bullying each other and making that a sport within our community. And as long as that is becoming more and more heightened, we haven't got a hope of accepting difference when people are actually trying to find difference.
Thank you for that. Very true.